Finland at the time in the 70s had the highest rates of coronary heart disease and early both male and female mortality in the world. And Pekka Puska was a young doctor in Finland, and the head of at the time, Pekka Puska went on to become the head of the Finnish health system. But at the time, the head of the Finnish health system said that he got so fed up with people, scientists coming to Finland to stick needles in them and try and work out why they were so unhealthy, that he decided that they had to do something about it. And he selected this young doctor, Pekka Puska, and he joked. I'm not sure if it was a joke. He joked about that. One of the reasons that he selected a young doctor was that it was going to take so long to sort out that they needed someone started young to try and work out what to do. And they started in North Karelia, which is up in the north of the country, and there in that kind of in that place, you had very high incidence of smoking. Vegetables were thought of as things that you gave to your animals. So, like the most common, the most common stew was like just basically butter and pork and salt and water. This was really bad diet. It was long periods of the year when it was dark, a lot of physical inactivity. And what Puska decided, he talked about, people criticized him after, saying, we can't tell what you did. Like, you did so many different things, I'll talk about what he did in a second, that we can't tell what worked because you can't isolate them and get evidence on each one. And he was like, that is completely to misunderstand the system. If I had done that, first of all, you probably wouldn't have got change, because you need to hit the system from all angles, like to get it to change. And secondly, we'd still be here today. We wouldn't have time to do all of those things. So he did what he said is boots deep in the mud. He called it. You got to get boots. So in North Karelia, and then they rolled it out to the whole of Finland. They did everything they could think of. They literally created a new cookbooks with stews with vegetables in them, and they trained like big training program across the whole population and retrain them what to cook. They, as you said, they took salt out of sausages and put less fat and mushrooms in. They actually turned out to be more popular than the other sausages. They created a cooperative that took berries in the summer and froze them so people could eat berries during the winter. They lit snow paths so people could exercise more. They gave older people snowshoes so they could get out. They even created a television show where villages would compete against each other, like X Factor, but with villages for who could be the healthiest. And it was the most watched, at its peak, it was the most watched TV show for Finnish men. So they did all of this stuff, and as a result, they managed to get their coronary heart rate diseases way, way down. And it's one of the few really successful public health interventions. And so, the argument that we used in terms of intervention is you've got this broken feedback loop. You genuinely don't know how the system is going to respond to intervention, because the system fights back against interventions. And so you have to hit it like hard from multiple directions to get it to shift. And so,
it's fascinating. Linking this back, almost back to where we started about a restaurant being a system and that sort of nudging theory. I interviewed Osh and Rogers, I don't know, have you been to the Devonshire?
Yeah, I know Osh. I haven't been to the Devonshire, but I've known Osh for years.
Oh, he's brilliant. And I'm going for lunch actually with him next week. But we were talking about the 1%. He was saying we do all these little things. Like, so it could be their equivalent of mushrooms, sausages, could be the bar menu on the beer mat. right? Tiny little thing no one thinks about. Another little thing he does is we'll never, when you go to a pub and they run out of glasses in the summer and stuff like that, it's really annoying. You've got to have a Guinness and a plastic. It's just it's horrible. Then we've got loads of glasses up the back, so they're prepared. That's another little thing. They've got a medicine cabinet upstairs which has to be used, which is basically if someone comes in being a bit of an arsehole or in a mood, they'll give them a nice little shot or something. But what Osh was saying is all these little things that add up, you nudge, and as you say, I love that, Henry, attack it from all angles. And then you get this kind of this change. And that's what he was saying at the Devonshire. He's constantly trying to think about those little 1% things.
The other thing about that is you, which is similar to systems, is you actually don't know what combinations of things you do works. So I think, one of the common mistakes people make with the business is they think that they actually understand exactly what it is they're doing that works. And very often that's not the case. So you often see people think, well, I can take this restaurant, I can do it, instead of doing it in a 5,000 square foot, I'll do it in 1,800. I'll do the small version. Absolutely bombs, because what you didn't realize was the thing that people really loved about it was the scale or the vibe, or, the other way around. So I think, the system that you create in this, it's a very closed system, a restaurant. You're basically pretty much in control of everything that comes in and everything that goes out, but you still don't really know how it works. You have a guess.
Yeah.
It's like
you post-rationalize it, don't you? Be like, that's exactly why it was going to work. And but it's all.
Yeah, I always say people who are rolling out restaurants come and ask for advice and say, just do it until you really have run out of spaces that you can go to that are the same. Just do it the same. Don't risk changing it, because it's not that you're a genius. It's that you are talented and you've somehow lucked upon a formula that people really like and it works.
Espressos is sponsored by supply chain software gurus Unleashed. It talks to your e-com and accounting software. It's helped Islands cut admin time in half, get granular clarity on your margins, know where your stock is, don't miss availability. Brands like Candy Kittens, Tiny Rebel and Trip all use Unleashed, and so should you.